Hi everybody. I thought I'd make a quick video just to plot the body out so that during class it's not going to be too tricky and it's not going to be too stressful. Okay, so just a step-by-step guide. I know you've done this before, but let's just do it together so that everybody's on the same page. Alright, so we're going to start with tracing out our body. We've traced out Hannah. What I've done is I have got flip chart paper. So the paper is there's two pieces of paper stuck together with a join down the middle, and it was big enough for her size. If your child is taller, we can give you 3 sheets of paper. If the child is not so tall, it's fine, you can just join it and then trim off the excess. Okay, so we are going to do starting with the tracing, and then I'm going to start with the top of the body. So we're going to start at the brain. So you've colored your brains in. I am going to start with all the sticking down bits, so the stuff that I'm going to stick down with a glue stick. So we're going to stick the brain down, glue stick on the brain goes, spinal cord lines up with where the ears go. So your spinal cord, your brain is not going to go in the lower part of the face, it's going to go in the top half of the face, or the head. So spinal cord lines up with your ears. Alright, that gets stuck down. Then we go down to our heart. Alright, the heart goes in the chest, sort of in line with your armpits or your underarms, and it's slightly to the left, and I'm only going to put glue on the top half of my heart so that the bottom half can lift slightly if the stomach does go up into underneath the heart. Okay, so my heart is down. Then we start with the kidneys, or we go down to the kidneys. You have a left and right kidney. Please just place them correctly. So the right kidney goes slightly lower than the left kidney, just very slightly, and that gets also glued down. I've just stuck mine down so that for the video I can redo it later. Alright, glue stick that. Then we're going to go down to the bladder, and the bladder again gets glued, glue stick, and it's quite low down, just above the crease of the leg. Okay, so you've got your kidneys and your bladder. Then we're going to move to the pancreas. The pancreas, I have just drawn a black circle in the middle to show you where you're going to either put double-sided tape or a spot of glue down the middle of that, and that is going to join your 2 kidneys. So it gets stuck directly in the middle of the 2 kidneys, touching the bottom half of the right kidney and touching the top left kidney. Alright, then we're going to go to the spleen and the gallbladder. Over here you can use a spot of double-sided tape or glue stick, it really doesn't matter, and that's going to go slightly over your left kidney, your spleen, and your gallbladder is going to go slightly over your right kidney. Right. Then we're going to move on to the skeleton and the muscles. So the muscle part goes on the right leg, and that is going to overlap the A kneecap over the B kneecap, and then your foot is going to line up with that. You can see that this leg is too long for that, so if your child is worried about it not fitting in, you can spread them out. But that is how you're going to join them. And then the bones or the skeleton section goes over the left knee as well, joining over the kneecap and over the C. C matches up with the C. Okay, so there we go. Our skeleton and our muscles are in place. You can glue those down with glue stick or with tape. Okay, then we have, what's next? Then we've got our stomach. All right, so the stomach, the intestine and the liver, all 3 of them call for a brad pin. Now the brad pin are those little brass split pins. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's a little brass pin that has 2 little legs and they split. So it will go into your stomach, through the body, and you'll split it at the other side. It's just so that you can move things around once it's in place. Okay, so we're going to be putting our stomach just under the heart, so that's why we didn't stick our heart completely flat down, and the writing on the stomach should be legible, so it should be the right way round. If your stomach is slightly facing this way, it's not in the right position, so your small intestine won't match up nicely. So just make sure that you can read my esophagus, the Brad, stomach, and all the words in the stomach will be the right way around. Okay, then I'm going to go to my small intestine, and your small intestine has to match up with your stomach like that, so those two tubes match up nicely. That's also got a Brad pin, and then the large intestine fits over that, so I can go a little bit higher. That's why I haven't stuck mine through yet. I just want to make sure that the rectum of the large intestine matches up with the rectum of the legs, at the legs. My small intestine matches up over there, and then my stomach is going to match up, oops, over there. Okay, so stomach and small intestine match up at the tubes, and the small intestine and the large intestine match up at the tubes. And those you can then push through either with your Brad pin. If you don't want to use these pins because they are a little bit tricky for the small ones, just use some double-sided tape or some glue. Okay, so ordinary glue will work because you're working with paper. All right, so there we go. So those are all our stuck down bits that now we can lift the large intestine to see the small intestine, and we can lift the small intestine to see the pancreas and the kidneys and the stomach and all that jazz. Okay, then we're going to go move on to our liver. The liver also has the little brass Brad pin over there, and the liver is going to be placed over the right kidney. So it's slightly over your right kidney, and that just gets placed just there. All right, if it's not 100%, don't worry about it. It's just got to go over everything at the end. That's why we're going to put a Brad pin in. So the Brad pin goes through the body and the right hand kidney. So that will give you the ability for that to move around so that you can see all your bits and pieces underneath. Okay, then we're going to move on to the lungs. So for the lungs, you've got two tracheas here. They have to be placed over each other to create one trachea. So you can glue those together to create one trachea, and that is going to be just under the chin. So if my chin was here, that would be placed there, and I am going to glue that down in place so that it can't move. So I'm going to place glue just under the trachea part, just there, so that your lungs can lift and you can see your heart and you can see your stomach and everything else underneath. And then last but not least, we've got our face. So you would have done the face, you're going to be doing the face this week. So have the children color their faces in, cut it out. They can add hair. Mine looks a little bit creepy without hair. So we're going to place that over the brain, and you will place glue only on under the bottom half of the face so that you can flip your face open to see your brain. Some of you might want to put tape at the top. You can do that. Tape at the top would also work, and you can flip your thing up, your face up. But the instructions in the little book say to stick the face under the lips so that you can flip the head down to see your face, to see your brain. All right, so that's our body. Our body is done. Nothing happens on the arms, so please don't worry if your arms don't fit in on the paper. What I've seen other communities do, they've just drawn the arms out and maybe just off the page, or you can bend your arm and maybe pretend that the hands were under the body at the back. Okay, so that's it.